It's Rachel over here at Joyful Derivatives. Happy Monday. Happy spring. Oh my goodness, the sun came out today. For the first time in a long time, it was like 75 degrees here, which is crazy. It's been like pouring down rain and in the 30s for quite some time. So it was so nice to have sunshine. Hi. And just, I feel like it like feeds my soul. I don't know. I feel like I have this little bit of, in the winter, I just can't be as positive as I can when the sun comes out. So, so that was really nice. So happy spring, finally. I hope wherever you are, it was nice and is getting nicer. I did see quite a few posts on social media today from people saying that they finally got some sunshine. So I hope it's nice where you're at. It does. And I worked out this morning. It totally gives me more energy. And just like a more positive outlook on life. I don't know. I agree. Totally gives me more energy. So I wanted to come on tonight and chat with you guys just about some of the things that I have going on, projects that we're doing, things you can look for on the blog. I like to come on once a week and at least touch base with everybody and see how you guys are doing. And I'd love feedback in the comments if you know there's something that you're wishing I would write about, or you've seen me write about, or even just things on my posts or my pictures that you really like and have questions about. I definitely want to be serving you guys to the best of my abilities. So if there's a question or feedback, I did have one person a couple weeks ago ask about design styles and the paint colors and the wood tones that go with them, and I have not forgotten. I just want to make that post really quality content, so I'm working that for a larger blog post versus just something that I talk about on my lives. What I wanted to talk about tonight, I've seen tons of positive feedback and traffic to my post on what decor to buy at thrift stores. I love thrift store shopping. In fact, I did a live not too long ago where I actually took you shopping with me, and it was super fun. In fact, I think I'm going to do that again this month, probably next week. And so today I wanted to talk through, kind of related to that, where I look primarily for furniture, because I typically buy my furniture used. I rarely buy new furniture because I love thrifting. And to me, the stuff that's used that's half the cost is just as good a quality. And sometimes I have the ability to give it vision. So I see a piece and maybe I don't care for it exactly the way it is now, but there's something creative about making it what I want for my home and having that vision. So if you're like that and you like that creative aspect, I would highly encourage you to try thrifting for your furniture, because you're going to save a ton of money and you're going to feel really creative and really positive about the item when you finally get it in your home. So I was going to talk tonight about my 4 top places that I go to for used furniture. The first one is definitely Craigslist. It seems outdated, but I seriously find all of my furniture, or pretty much all of my furniture, on Craigslist. And I think that's because the people that are willing to sell it at a lower price are the ones that put it on Craigslist, so it's more appealing to me. Plus, it seems more local. I find that the stuff I find on the other online used places are a bit of a drive, and I would rather just go into the same town and buy it from where we live. So that would be my number 1. My number 2 is probably Facebook Marketplace. They have some pretty good stuff, and it's kind of convenient because you can just say you're interested and it sends a message to the person, and you don't really have to follow through other than they'll contact you back. So it's a little bit more reliable on the contact side. I think Craigslist sometimes can be, you send an email and you never hear back. So that one's maybe a little more reliable, but like I said, I find more stuff on Craigslist than I do Facebook Marketplace. I would say the third place that I go to for furniture when I'm shopping used is, let's see, I'm going to say thrift stores would probably be third in row. And then the fourth would be garage sales. So garage sales are a great place, but they're seasonal, right? So they're not always available. But thrift stores are a great option. And the one thing, I'm going to give you guys 5 of my tips for shopping for used furniture, because I feel like there are things that can deter you from liking it if you aren't aware. But I would say garage sales are definitely a good one too, because you can get a lot of times they're just trying to get rid of stuff. So you can barter a lot better at garage sales than anywhere else, obviously. So I would say, obviously, the 4 places I've mentioned that I like to shop for used furniture are Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, thrift stores, and garage sales. Those are all 4 great places to look. So now I'm going to give you 5 tips for when you are going to those places and looking for used furniture, things to think about. The first one I'm going to say is make sure that, especially, well, this really only applies to online, but when you're looking online, use multiple names or phrases to describe what you're looking for. So there are times like recently I was looking for something to go in our dining room. So I searched for buffet, I searched for sideboard, I searched for credenza, I searched for console table, like anything that could describe what you're looking for. If you're looking for a chair for your living room, search for chair, search for chairs, search for, depending on what type, if you wanted one that reclined, search for recliner. So that's one of my biggest tips is you want to make sure you hit all the different keywords that someone might use to describe the item you're looking for. Otherwise, you might miss the perfect piece. So that's the first thing I would say to think about. Second thing I would say is don't drive too far. I think unless it's like literally the ideal piece that you've been looking for forever, I wouldn't drive more than an hour or an hour and a half in my mind. I mean, I drive a Suburban, so it guzzles the gas. But the cost of gas and the likelihood that you'll find something similar if it's not a super specialty piece is really high. So I would say, unless it's, like I said, unless it's perfect and exactly what you've been looking for and something that's maybe vintage or antique, I wouldn't recommend driving more than an hour or so. And be careful when you're on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. A lot of times those will kind of feed in at the end of your search places that are far away, and you don't really realize it until you pull up the piece and you look at it and you're like, oh, where is this? And then you realize, oh, it's 3 hours away. So just keep an eye on the location as you're scrolling through the searches if you're doing an online search. Obviously, garage sales, thrift stores, most of the time those are going to be local, but a lot of times I will drive a half an hour to go to a big garage sale if I see an ad and I really like what's on its list. Or even there's thrift stores 45 minutes from here that are 3 times the size of ours and have a ton of great stuff. And so I might drive 45 minutes to go, hi Alma, to one of those if there's something specific I'm looking for or on the market for. Okay, so search for things using multiple names that can describe what you're looking for. For example, if you're looking for a chair, type in chair or chairs or recliner, all different ways so you don't miss out on something that you really want. If you just joined Alma, we're talking about how I shop for furniture for used furniture. And then the second thing, don't drive too far. I would say unless it's the perfect piece, don't drive more than an hour. It's not worth it. You'll likely find something very similar in a close range. And then thirdly, I would say make sure, I've only gone through 2. I got crazy ahead of myself. Thirdly, I'm going to say when you're looking at something, make sure that it's not damaged beyond the point of repair. But when I say that, I mean like, okay, so if there's a little bit of a scratch on the top and you're planning to sand it and stain it, then sure, that's fine. And sometimes even like a leg broken off, you can replace the legs. But there are pieces that are really worn and not worth the effort. So keep that in mind, even when you have your little creative vision of how you can make it or what you can turn it into. Make sure you're not going to invest so much time and money into fixing it up that you couldn't just buy something new for the same price. That's something I always kind of keep in mind is, okay, so what would this cost new, and is the effort I'm putting into it really worth it? So that was the third one. Make sure it's not damaged so far that it's just not worth the effort. Fourth one I would say is don't pay too much for something. Like I said, think about it. If the chair at Goodwill is $79 and you could buy it at TJ Maxx for $89, maybe it's worth just buying a new one. That's something that I really think through. And you know, thrift stores have been going up in price, especially if it's something that looks reasonably new or high quality. I went to a thrift store recently and they were charging like $400 for their 8x10 rugs. And I was thinking, I can get one of these brand new from Rugs USA or even Overstock for the same price. So be careful you don't think that you're getting a great deal. Like, even if you have to whip out your phone and search for 8x10 rug to make sure, is this price reasonable? Do that, because you don't want to get something used that's not as great of quality, obviously, because it's used, when you could get something brand new for the same price. So that was the fourth one. Make sure you're not paying too much. And then the fifth one, like I said, think creatively. Maybe it's a piece like I'm using in my dining room where I really wanted a sideboard or a buffet, but I didn't have a whole lot of room between the wall and the chairs. It's a kind of a narrow space. And so instead I'm using a sofa table or a console table that's a little bit more narrow. So think through like different types of pieces that you could use. Thank you so much for that comment. And then, yeah, so if even some pieces, like I've seen so many furniture makeovers of like a very basic bookshelf, and it's really not very pretty, but you throw some wallpaper on the backside, you put some new feet on the bottom, and then it looks like this beautiful piece of furniture. So I would say too, thinking through how could this piece be potentially if I put a little bit of effort into it. Now, if you're not crafty at all and you just want used furniture that's perfect for your house, then that's fine. You know that about yourself, and you can make, I would say you probably are going to want to search places like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, because a lot of times those are quality pieces that don't need a ton of work. But you're also going to pay a little bit more, because for things that look new or act new, they're going to be a little bit more expensive than something that needs some love and attention. So anyway, so just to review, this is kind of a quick one tonight, but I wanted to make sure I came on and said hi, and I was thinking maybe I would just tell you guys a little bit more about myself. I haven't really talked about who I am much on here. Obviously, I have my about on the blog, but I am going to put a link in my profile to my thrift store shopping cheat sheet, and it's a fun little thing I made that you can like write in what dimensions you have in certain places, and then when you go to the thrift store it tells you which items to look for. Like, you want to look for baskets, but from the baskets, what kind do you want to get, which is versus which kind do you don't really want to get. And there's about 8 different types of decor you should look for, and then of those, which ones really are worth buying. Lots of people have enjoyed it, and it's been really helpful for me to think through. So I'll put a link to that in my bio. It's free. You can download it, print it, take it with you to the store. And I think actually I'm going to add a little bit to it with furniture, because I didn't talk about furniture much in there. It was mostly just decor. But thinking through tonight, buying used furniture, really, there is kind of an art to it. And so I love the whole thrift store shopping scene, and I'm kind of mulling over like writing a little book, or I don't know, something fun. So you guys can be on the lookout for that. But so just to review what I talked about tonight, what are my favorite places to shop for affordable decor or furniture? And I said my favorite way to buy furniture to keep it affordable is used. And when I buy used furniture, there's 4 places I primarily look. First is Craigslist. Second is Facebook Marketplace. Third is thrift stores. And fourth is garage sales. I like garage sales because you can barter a little bit better in person. I'm better at bartering in person than I am like over text or email with the marketplace and stuff. But and then when you're shopping at those places, I have 5 tips for you, or things to think through. So the first one is search for the things you want, especially online, using multiple names. So if I wanted a table in my dining room, a sideboard, I would search sideboard and buffet and credenza and console table and all the different ways that it could be posted, because someone is going to describe it some way, and you don't want to miss the perfect thing because you forgot to look for it in a different naming convention. The second thing I would say is don't drive too far. I would say an hour is probably plenty to drive for a furniture piece if it's used, unless it's something vintage or exactly what you needed in the dimensions. Then I might drive a little bit farther, but I would say 45 is definitely, or 45 minutes or an hour is definitely far enough. The third one, make sure it's not damaged before or beyond the point of repair. If you're thinking you're going to fix it up to put it into your home, make sure it's fixable. Like, make sure what you have in mind is actually going to work. You don't want to buy something thinking that you can just wallpaper the back, only to realize that the back is just completely broken and now you have to do that, and that's more money invested. You don't really want to buy something thinking that you're going to invest a little bit in fixing it up, only to realize that it's going to cost more than one new, right? So thinking through that concept. Fourth, don't pay too much. Think through if what you're buying could be bought at a similar price new, then it's probably obviously too much to pay for it used. Like I said, look up something on Google for the price of a brand new one if you found something that you love, or if you're like me and you shop enough for furniture, you're kind of aware of the price of things. But make sure you don't get taken advantage of, because I would hate for you to pay $400 for a used rug only to realize that you could have had whatever one you wanted online for the same price. So that's something definitely to think through. And then fifth one is to just think creatively. What kind of potential does the item you're looking at have? And with a little amount of investment financially, can you make it something fabulous? So that's my favorite one. I love making things fabulous for not very much money. I'm sure you know that if you've read my blog, because that's kind of everything I write about. That's something that we're doing right now with our dining room makeover. We're participating as guests in the One Room Challenge through Calling It Home. If you haven't heard of it, it's this awesome event they do twice a year. And Linda selects 20 featured designers that do it with sponsorship from all these media sponsors and product sponsors. And it's really this cool event. And then anyone can join as guests, and you link up your project, and everybody kind of reads everybody's projects and support each other. And the crazy thing about it is we do it all in just 6 weeks. So a room makeover in just 6 weeks is a pretty fast timeline. In fact, we were planning to build our dining room table all the way up until like yesterday. And then we're at week 3.5. So we're over halfway. We don't have a lot of space because our garage is like full of stuff that needs to be put in the house. And so my husband was like, maybe we should just buy a table, because I don't know if I have enough time and I want to make it nice. And I found these other ones for the same price as lumber. And so we were looking, but then I got to realizing, okay, well, we're 4 weeks in, which means we only have 2 weeks till we have to post and reveal. And I haven't ordered a dining table, which takes 14 days to deliver. And I was like, we have to order it today or else we may not get it in time. So those kinds of things, you'd like in a 6-week time frame, you have to think on your feet sometimes, or you have to really have a plan in place that you're not going to change, because if you change last minute, especially with buying things online, you're kind of just out of luck. So yeah, so it's been fun. Everyone who's come over and like knows us and has seen the progress of the room is really excited about it. So I think it'll be awesome. Like I've no doubt it's going to be awesome, but I think people will really enjoy the reveal. So that's what I'm excited about. That's 2 weeks from now, Thursday, May 9th, I think is the day that we do our big reveals. So I'm excited because I've got some new photography equipment, and I'm trying to really up my game on my pictures. And so I'm excited because it'll be kind of one of my first room makeover shoots where I use my new equipment, lighting, camera, tripod, all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to stage it and kind of figure out the angles and look out. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So anyway, so that's what we've been up to. We also got some new chickens, so we've been working out in the garden and with the chickens and all sorts of fun stuff going on. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that. It's been a good day. Like I said, the sunshine has got me energized, and I'm just really excited for spring and summer. I feel like I forget how much I love it until it starts to come back, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the best. It kind of makes me want to move somewhere like California. Oh yeah, someone asked in the comments if I'll post the reveal on Instagram. Absolutely. Yeah. So I will post obviously a picture from the room, and then I'll link it up in my profile and say, head to the blog to read the reveal. And even in the stories, I'll put something and you can swipe up and it'll take you right to the blog post so you can read it and see all the pictures. If you haven't read the, so every week during the One Room Challenge, we do like updates or posts with our progress. So if you go to my blog, which is just joyfulderivatives.com, you can see there's 3 weeks worth of posts that you can kind of review where we started, the before pictures, and then the 2 weeks. The first week of progress, I talked about the rug that we picked because it's amazing, and it's the first time that I have picked a rug that has like a lot of color and a lot of pattern. I've always been very neutral with my rugs and very safe, and I took a risk on this one, and I absolutely love it. Hi, Robin. So I'm really excited to see how it looks in the room with all this stuff, because we went with this bright, bold rug, and then we also went with this dark black paint on the walls. Like, it's just very intense and deep, and it's exciting because it's this style that I haven't done in my home before. I'm taking risks and I'm loving them. And I'm painting the door this really amazing color that I'm not going to tell you until reveal day, but it's pretty cool next to all the black walls. So anyway, it's been really fun, and if you want to take a peek at what we've been doing and where we're at, you can go to the blog, and there's 3 posts already, and then I'll post another one on Wednesday. It'll go live Wednesday, and then we'll market it on Thursday as a guest participant, so you can see where we're at. This will be week 4 out of 6, so it's kind of the point where things start to get like a time crunch, and you have to just get it all done. But my husband has been amazing. And I just have to give him another shout out. I gave him a shout out in my last post, but he has done, literally, I'm not exaggerating, about 95% of the work on this project, because I've been working hard on the blog, and I'm on this board of directors for a nonprofit that has just been a crazy busy season. And so every night he's like, okay, I'm going to do this tonight, and I'm going to do this tonight. And he's just been knocking it all out, and I can't thank him enough. He is so fabulous. So, Christopher, you're the best. I couldn't do it without you. And those of you who know Chris understand that he is wonderful when it comes to this stuff. So anyway, I think that's going to be it for tonight. Perfect timing because my family just got back from their walk. Do y'all want to meet my kids? Come here. You guys want to come say hi? No? Chloe does. She's my brave little daughter. Sorry. Okay, come here, sis. So this is my daughter, Chloe. She's 2. She just turned 2 in November, so I guess almost 2.5. But she and I are like twinsies. We're foodies. We love to go get them. Huh, sis? Can you say hi? Can you wave?
Hi.
Robin said hi. So, anyway, yes, I have 2 wonderful children, and they are such a blessing. That's all I can... Oh, you want to say hi somewhere? See, she'll be my little blogging partner someday. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to sign off and go hang with the kids and the family, but I will post, like always, on Facebook. I'll post a replay of this video along with notes from what I talked about, like the Cliff Notes, basically. And then I have a couple links to posts that relate, so like my home decor post. And don't forget, if you want to download my thrift store cheat sheet to take with you to the store, I will put that in my profile also. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I will see you all soon. Thanks.